On today's Taco Tech Tip Tuesday, we're going to talk about Flux. What is Flux? What the Flux? This is Flux, petroleum-based flux. It's just basically some goo, some schmoo, and this is going to allow you to solder junk wire back together. Why are you soldering junk wire? Well, there's 1,000 reasons why you're soldering junk wire, and the main one is because you don't want to. Why don't you want to solder junk wire? Because it doesn't adhere very well. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these two little wires right here. I'm going to show you what happens when you try to solder them together. I'm going to go ahead and get my soldering torch up to temperature here. Get it chooching up. There it goes. So we're just going to set that there and let it warm up. So these are automatic strippers. If you don't have a set of these, get some. Simple as that. Simple as that. Now we've got two wires. We want them to be one wire. There's a lot of schools of thought on this, and that's not what this video is about. Crimping, jointing, blah, blah, blah. We're going to talk about soldering today. We want these two wires to become one wire. Some people like to just set them next to each other. We're not talking about the different methods of soldering. We're just talking about we want the solder to go into the wire. So I like to do a quick little twist. Just basically run them together and get you some good pressure. Come on, little guys. But you can see, maybe you can from this video, how dingy, dirty, and dark these wires are. They're not very nice. There's lots of corrosion on them. So we're getting up to temp. How do you know your soldering iron's up to temp? Well, it'll tin up good. Tinned up means at the end turns a tin look and the solder flows into it. If your tip won't tin, you're going to need a new tip. Another little thing to note, you want to use good solder. This is really thick stuff. It's 60-40 and it's tin lead. I should be wearing gloves, but I'm not. This one is thin, 60-40. I like the 60-40. Rosin core not. It doesn't really matter because if you watch, we're going to get this wire hot and you're not going to see a whole lot happen here. I'm going to get a little on there to try to tin it up, but it's not working. It's really not soldering. And that's what this video is about. Like, this is a lot of work, even with thin solder, to try to get any of it into this wire. And it's going, but it's not pretty. And it's going to take a long time. And you end up with a wire that just doesn't have a lot in it. So what we want something better. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take the other end of this. We're going to create a Mobius strip here. A strip and a strip. Now we're going to take these ends. We're going to dip them in the old Flux. I'm going to get them real gooey. Come on, get in there. Real gooey. All right, now we're real gooey. We're going to do the same thing we just did. We're just going to wrap them together. We're going to throw them in the old solder helper here. The only reason I use this is it gives you two hands free. Same thing, thin wall. And now, I'm not sure if you'll be able to hear this with the other noises around me, but it's going to sizzle like bacon. And you'll see the solder just flows right in. See it bubbling up there? It's pulling the solder through, giving us a much better, and I didn't twist this one very well. Probably wouldn't want this on my car, but you can see it's just pulling the solder through. Now you don't want big clumps of solder. The solder should just be inside the wires themselves, and that's what we have here. A little bit more here. Oh yeah. You can see on that joint, if it'll focus, there's a lot more solder inside the wires. If you have new wires, they'll pull the solder right in. But old wires, with all the corrosion and everything, it won't. The next key thing, since we've now fluxed the wire, soldered the wire, it's all good. We need to heat shrink the wire. I didn't put any heat tube on here, so we'll cut this so that I can. And you want to use good heat tube that has glue built into it. This stuff's kind of expensive. But what you'll notice when you use it is that it creates a watertight seal. Now, same thing with this gun. It has the little thing on the side here that lets you warm it up. You can use a lighter, you can use a torch. In fact, I'm pretty much, sounds like I'm about out of gas, so we'll just torch it. Now I've got a good watertight connection. It's soldered, and we're going to have good continuity through that. And that should last quite a while. And this will get you a repair on the road, whatever you need when you need to solder. So bring some flux with you. It makes life way easier. This is junk. This is not a good repair for sure. See if I can get it to even focus. Anyway, that's my taco tech tip for today. What the flux, use your flux, make life a lot easier. Thanks for watching.